we've seen AAs just have that capability to obliterate a hero and take them completely out of a fight. The fact that his ulti is a very, very low cooldown. The issue is it still feels like the AA lanes have been doing really well though. Like that's always what I feel is kind of the weakness of the Ancient Apparition, that his lane's not the greatest. I guess what he can't shove out lanes. His stun really relies on someone else, and I feel like he doesn't lane as well. But they've been doing a very good job to pair AA with an aggressive like melee safe laner where it kind of hides his weaknesses, I feel.
I mean, Wraith King's still there, right?
Radiant team pick.
Oh,
You
cool.
could still very much just go for the easy setup.
Jungling, let's push.
It's not terrible. At least it stops that chain combination. Again, you have to be in the right place at the right time, though. I was about to say, could we see a Chaos Knight? Probably not. The Wraith King's still totally fine for mine.
10 seconds remaining.
I think definitely
5 seconds
either of them would
remaining.
work well. They got okay ways to deal with the
Radiant team ban.
Phantasm, but they go into the Wraith King. I like that.
It's easy to execute. Both of these lanes, so, like the side lanes, are
Dire
so easy to execute. You just Cold Feet into Wraith Fire Blast, into either the Chilling Touch or the Ice Vortex, just to make sure that the stand lands. You're gonna hit him a couple of times as the Wraith King, probably once or twice as the AA as well. Might not kill, but pushes them
10
heavily out of
seconds
lane,
remaining.
makes things so easy. And of course, the top
You can
side, like
definitely
stun into Mirana Arrow. And, you know, you need to be keeping tabs of what this Mirana's movements are as well, because now, depends what the mid is that they're going to try and go for Neon. Remember, it's still got the potential of being a Yopaj Sand King. Not to say that it will be. We saw how effective they had it
10
that time
seconds
around on
remaining.
CTM. But, oh, sorry, in the last series on CTM. But
5
it
seconds
was,
remaining.
I don't know, it's just something that there's a lot of rotation, there's a lot of easy execution, provided that you've got the guaranteed stuns to set up for it.
I feel like I'd be a little bit more happy if the Sand King was mid this game, just because it's going to be tiny as a 2, so you've got the melee matchup.
Is it though? I mean, we've seen Snapfire be played as a core
Radiant team
occasionally.
pick.
Yeah, and they've got 24th pick as well, I guess, so you do have that flexibility actually. So it's not going to be 100% guaranteed. I guess though, like if you put the Sand King mid, then you might be
Dire team pick.
offering. Well, now it's really flexible. Like now you can, because we've seen lanes where DK and Mirana, they do the same thing. The point target stun sets up for the arrow. So I
Even just in mid, right? Like, I didn't want to be that guy that said I was really thinking about this, but I was really thinking about
10
this, you know?
seconds
All you
remaining.
need is a single point in that Dragon Tail, 2.5 seconds, Mirana rotates
5
in,
seconds
4 seconds
remaining.
stun. You kill most people.
and it gives you a little bit of tower aggression, which is something you didn't really have at the moment until the Wraith King maybe has
Yeah.
some skellies until he wants to join the team. But DK allows you to take these early objectives, and like you said, it's just stuns. Like stuns gaming, not easy to bring down as well. The burst is really like, but if this is a Bob Tiny, he's going to have to really rely on levels.
Could they go the Chaos Knight? I'm just thinking, like, what is going to counter all of this stun gaming? Locking someone down, quickly bursting them through, and if they get the Phantasm
You
Ags,
now select
nope.
your heroes.
I'm gonna go at Tusk. So potentially 4 supports in this game. Is this an offlane Elder Titan?
Offlane toss.
Nope, offlane Tusk. Just gonna go ahead and pick Neon for this.
Not a fan of the Southfield draft?
No. I mean, you've got a Tiny into the DK, right? Which, I mean, a lot of your damage super early on is physical before you're able to get, what, level, I don't know, 4, 5? You know, get a couple of points into both the Avalanche and the Toss, but, you know, oh, actually, it's a CTM DK, never mind that. So it's even a Sand King into the Tiny, even worse. You know, you're going to have to rely on using all of your mana to try and nuke these waves, and then, well, there's no real kill potential
seconds
against your
remaining.
Pudge. So, yep, Neon for mine.
5 seconds remaining.
Do see. Yeah, I like what they're doing as well. It's gonna be looking like a solid draft overall here for Neon. You know, they go back into some heroes that worked really well for them. Now we get to see how this,
A new age of magic.
how it's gonna end up faring in regards to the a Bob Tiny, he's definitely looking to hit back. Definitely looking to hit back. That's what we're hoping for.
He's going to try. I just don't know how effective it's going to be because, I mean, maybe if this Tusk was a pos 4 enabling the rotation, I would be feeling a little bit more confident about it. But, I mean, Snapfire's way too slow with the rotations coming through. Elder Titan as well. You're going to be able to get the Burrow Strike out of the Echo Stomp range, so you're going to be totally fine there. And, yeah, I just don't think Bob's going to have another good time. He's just going to get bullied out by Yopaj as soon as he gets that Caustic Finale available.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be... I mean, especially with the Game 1 momentum that Neon had as well, heading into it. Like, they took that game very convincingly. And they're going to head into now this second game. I think South would have to play another series after this as well. Yeah, they're going to play...
SMG,
yeah.
yep.
So that is... It's going to be a tough one. I mean, you're going down... You're already, what, 0-5 now? And... This is also another draft that's looking... What would you put it down percentage-wise?
Based on the draft?
Yeah.
75-25.
I go...
Would you agree with that?
I go 85. 85.
85-15. I thought I just wanted to be nice, you know? I'll stick with it. It makes me feel less wrong, you know, if South Build are able to pull this one out.
I hope they pull out. I like being wrong. It's nice. That's where you're able...
I wouldn't know.
Okay. Well, that's... Sometimes you need to be wrong. You need to learn from those mistakes.
What's a mistake?
When you...
Is that something normies make?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't know. Is that
there
the
go.
answer?
There we go.
Okay. Scammy's my A... What's ABC?
I mean... I know it could just be alphabet, it could be Asian-born Chinese, you know? There's a lot of different ways for it. I know I've heard people call Asian-born Chinese ABC before. That's to me, just with the quick mind games, putting the Yopaj as my idol in the mid game, just making sure that Bob remembers what happened in game number 1. He's always watching. I love these sprays as well. Like, it's good that teams have a lot of humor about it. I've gone on that I've gone ahead and bought the Motivate Trust one. Are they playing later today? Yeah, they are playing against Omega in the last series of the day. And one of the sprays is Jackie holding a box of pizza, referencing his pizza party kick from T1. So
Yikes.
it's good to see a lot of that still happening. Some good humor in all of it. I mean, they're playing well as a team, and so are T1. So you could say that it's kind of worked out for both of them. We'll have to wait for the Animajor to see how everything falls through. I hope that T1 do well, because we can't have no C teams in the top 12. That would be an absolute disaster.
Well, we might have
getting gone on already.
Yeah, this is already a different start to the game here. Very nice.
I wonder if they're going to put a spray on top of that Yopaj as my idol, just to let them know about it.
Sure. Right, so it does... Would you rather have... I'm not sure if when he leveled Burrow Strike, if he pre-leveled it before trying to get distance away, or if he
just tried to run away with it. I think it's fine to do level 1 anyway, because again, against a Tiny, you can just use it to disrupt. Level 1 Sandstorm kind of sucks, and level 1 Caustic, it just feels like you're a melee creep, essentially. I think stun's pretty much the standard way to go anyway. He tried to secure the ranged last hit there, but just the big beefy arm from Bob. Way too much, and he's so cute holding the tree, Tiny. You know, he's the level 1 little baby Tiny.
Some reason there's a crystal in a tree root? What's going on there?
He's one of those, like, those hippie mums, you know, that do
mums.
crystal healing.
What
He needs the amethyst for the good chakras.
feel like that might be Ruby.
I'm colorblind, alright? I can say these things.
That's true. So what do you see with the what
It did look red. I'm just an idiot.
Okay.
Saying it was Amethyst is like purple, right?
Yeah.
Alright. I got that down.
What colorblind are you again? What colors?
Red, green, colorblind. Zhao's probably going to get caught out on this bot side as well. Quick TP though. Nicely done. Realizing that they don't have the snowball.
Do see this seems like a pretty scary lane, the Snapfire Tusk. Tusk is a core. Gonna get a lot more levels here in farm as well. I wonder what the Tusk is gonna try and itemize farm wise though as an offlaner.
I mean, I still feel like it's the Solar Crest that you're going for, right? And then you're just going for those individual pickoffs on top of your Orb of Corrosion, lots of minus armor. You've also got the Snapfire to enable a lot of these ganks to come through. So just going to try and be one punch man and take out some of these cores before they have a chance to get away. You know, in particular, if you're able to get onto someone like Play Hard. Miranas don't build too defensively, same sort of thing with the AA. So I think that could work out for him. Be careful about losing this courier though. That's the chainmail, and that's a pretty big deal for Natsumi when he's going to be suffering quite heavily from a lot of this physical damage that the Tusk Snapfire combo is able to put into you.
It should start to ramp up now as well, that he's hit the level 2 on the snap. So went for that cookie for the level 1 kill threat. Now that we see
with the Blightstone,
yeah,
makes sense. And there we go. Mirana rotation with a stun. Guarantees gets the kill. Already bullies the Tiny out of the lane now that you've got the level 1 Caustic Finale. So what's been hard is just going to become even harder. Wonder if there's even some stacks being built up here by Play Hard. Not just yet. He previously arrowed the Sadia Tormentor to be able to get a little bit of more farm for himself.
Bot and Ryu trying to man fight here. They get the kill first before Natsumi is able to win out on the trade there. So they do lose a core for core, but you're slowing down the Wraith King's farm. You're happy with that.
Very interesting. I mean, that shows the impact of not having that chainmail. You have chainmail, you live. You don't, you die. Still only 2 armor on a Wraith King super early on into this game. At least now he's got the boots though. Not that it's going to make much of a difference with all the slows and the ice shards preventing a lot of your movement, but it's something.
We see as well, like the rotations are really going to be enabled this game from the Mirana, because you've got a Dragon Knight in the offlane who has Soul Ring, Bracer, and you are just going to be, I mean, 2-point Dragon's Blood. How do you get this kill? Like, Troll at the moment should be able to lane fine. Like, it's not like Troll needs help. So, Earpage is going to get brought down. We do see Play Hard end up falling, though Bob, of course, has already used that combo to bring down Earpage.
A rolling stone.
Team letting Earpage know about it. Yeah, see, the sprays aren't permanent, right? The Earpage is my idol spray is gone. So maybe it lasts around 5 minutes or so. 4 or 5.
That's all the mental warfare you need.
I mean, they got that first kill, but they were able to turn it around there with the nice rotation through from the Elder Titan. He has not got a point in the natural order just yet, so wasn't able to be used alongside the Tiny for an insane amount of burst, but still enough.
That was a cute play from Bobby. Tossed Earpage out of that sandstorm, but thought he was going to get a little bit more damage as well because he brought him under the tower there. Actually, Fire Strike is enough of a level. Natsumi kind of baiting at the moment. Does have Mirana nearby, but the arrow doesn't get the connection. Tag team has now worn off, so that extra damage that we're requiring to try and kill off Natsumi is not going to be there. So Ryu dived a little bit too far here, and it's going to cost him his life. One more right click, it's enough. But yeah, like you were saying, Bob, he gets another kill. That is, I mean, we were saying that these two players incredibly high mechanically skilled, and you know, Bob was looking to come back and try and bring it to Earpage here, top lane. CTM getting dived. Mobs stacked up the further stacks here. January should get a return kill on Zenki.
Maybe we'll get him all the way under his tower as well. I mean, you're a very beefy boy as that Dragon Knight with all that strength, the 2 points in the Dragon's Blood. He even got the Breathe Fire off for the damage reduction, but not gonna be enough at the end of the day. Bob even goes and snipes. I don't think he scouted out that ancient camp, but he would have seen the hard one. Kind of surprised that he didn't go and snare it with that double damage, but got Zenki in here in the mid lane with that level 2 aura strike to get out, but that's a lot of damage.
Yes,
you forces the TP through.
Yeah, exactly right. You're probably happy with now CTM being here, because DK's not the fastest hero to move from lane to lane, so it looks like they're actually just going to pop DK up mid. Is got a little bit more health pool than what the Sand King does, but it looks like actually Yopaj is just going to try and take some stacks away. So are you worried though that the Sand King lane didn't go very well for Yopaj? Because it really does feel like that's the power of a Sand King in as a position too. Like you win your lane, but then your scaling potential can kind of fall off.
Exactly, and you know, I'm sure he's going to be very unhappy with how it went. He's got the Blink Dagger immediately queued up alongside the Hood of Defiance, and like we were saying before in previous games where he's had a much more dominant showing in that mid lane, he's seen to get the Blink Dagger at around the 7 or 8 minute mark, but we're at that point and he's only halfway there.
Top lane. TP's in, CTM. Well, they hold back the toss, but it will not be able to control the troll. Battle Trance is out. Nice kill for them to pick up. CTM, that's going to be the second death of the game. And they are able to rip through someone like the Dragon Knight with all the tankiness that he has, thanks to those 3 points in the tag team. So this is where we might see the early levels for Emryu help out a lot of these tanky heroes mid lane. Thinking about dropping the Epi, Yopaj. He's going to pump fake it. They toss back play hard. He's got some leap charges though. They turn back around. Burrow going to be up pretty shortly. They need Zenki to be able to tank up the arrow, but a nice leap away gets some distance, so Elder Titan cannot provide the protection for the snap. But Bob still brought down. Nice Ice Blast finds the double connection as well. As CTM's going to make Zenki pop with the wrap through. And Ryu, tag team, stunned up instantly, unable to get the slows, but my lord, One Punch Man sends him up.
Yeah, using that Medallion of Courage on the Snapfire to be able to secure it. It was a little bit of a misplay there by Samael and Bob. He actually tossed him back into that team fight. So
Troll
shouldn't have been a dead Tiny that time around. Troll doesn't have the Battle Trance either.
So beats the Tango as well. Now Januel, one step too far forward, drops the Ice Pulse on 2, but there is no extra damage coming through. So see a bit of a messy fight around mid, as it does leave the side lanes. Natsumi doing a lot of damage to this tier 1 tower. It's actually, is he going to be able to get it before I get here? No, they're even smoking down to try and connect as fast as they can. Smoke pops Natsumi. He's got to level up. Reincarnation just gets a little bit of mana. He needs the TPs now, but he's pretty far away from the tier 1 tower here. Arrow gets a connection. He might actually end up turning, but Samael is going to try and drop the Mortimer Kisses. Natsumi has to bounce back just to get rid of the ultimate from Samael, but it will not matter. That duration, it costed him to force to go back in to deal with the Snapfire, just means he has to hang around for a little bit too long. And Neon, they don't get involved fast enough, so it's going to slow down the Midas. Might even see Bob catching out another, but slowing down the Midas is the big thing here for Natsumi's Wraith King.
It's a reasonably big deal, but you also have that turnaround kills that Yopaj was able to get. Snares him his Blink Dagger. So 10 minutes, not anywhere near as strong as some of his previous showings, but still, now you're enabled to move around the map. You want to get kills a lot more frequently, and well, guess who has the... oh, is he... No, didn't end up giving the bottle through to Zhao, so a little bit of a misplay there. Otherwise, you would have had much more mana to play with. Doesn't even have enough for the combo yet. He's going to need to wait for 10 more mana. And Marb is the one on their list. Still doesn't have the Battle Trance for another 10 or so seconds. Smoke's going to pop, so they're going to know he's here.
Get the Ice Bar pass through with the FD as well. Meanwhile, mid. And with all the heroes showing to try and kill off the troll warlord, they're well aware that CTM is unfortunately solo. So they trade a 1-for-1, but you're slowing down the mob's farming speed, which is at least something you're looking for.
Yeah, you're fine with that if you're Neon. Like, the Dragon Knight is, you know, beefy. He's taking a lot of time to kill, but that's me the whole time. Kind of like just what happened on the bot side. all the team fights are happening, and he's just top going chop, chop, chop.
Top tower has fallen.
They're gonna come. Do they have detection? Oh no.
Surely. Oh, Zenki's. Yeah, there we go. He just chopped one too many times, unfortunately. Another big kill. Meanwhile, mid, Yopaj blink in. Arrow off the mark. Bob's able to sidestep, and now with the bottom, Kiss is getting laid down as well. Forces at least the DK to not be with them. They get the kill nonetheless, as Bob is going to pick up his third death of the game here. Yopaj having a lot more impact now with this early blink rush that he went for. I really like the itemization from Yopaj, going for this as fast as possible, recognizing that this is kind of the way he comes back into the game, playing with the Mirana, playing with the Ancient Apparition as well. They've got a lot of pickup potentials. We might see another one on Zenki, actually. Cold Feet. Just out of range. They were probably needing that stun to kill off the ET. Yopaj?
He does not have the mana yet for the Burrow Strike. After giving the Mango popped over to him, but he's going to need to use it defensively to try and get away. But they know that that's been used now. Gets the toss in, and Blink Dagger disabled as well. So that should be a dead Sankey.
Will be. Just going too greedy here, Yopaj. Sometimes he doesn't know when to stop, unfortunately. Toss back, CTM, nothing he can do. The burst that Bob is able to put out here, 4 points in the avalanche and the toss, is too much for Neon to handle at the moment. We've got 23 kills, about to be 13 minutes to the game. A very action-packed second game.
And this is what we were hoping to see, you know, much more even series coming through. CTM's even caught here inside the combination. Buyback being used on the Mirana. It's not going to be enough though.
Bob, they might jump in with the Sand King blink, but the TP's too long because it was the second one to come around. Oh, runs into the arrow. Nice wraparound from Natsumi, just if it was required there.
Dire's structures are fortified.
And they've still got that epicenter available.
So,
A few seconds left on the Blink Dagger. They're just looking to take away a lot more of this map control. Playhard's been on point with his arrows. You know, it always feels that way with the Mirana. It combos together so well with their point stuns that they've got. Even then, it wasn't guaranteed to land, but just the understanding from the team that, look, I'm going to launch this, you have to follow it up to guarantee that it's going to hit.
Bounty.
They're going to start becoming a lot tankier soon, though, on Neon. Right now, the damage, you know, while the Troll is just sitting back and farming, he's even going a Maelstrom, so a lot of his damage is magical. Speaking of him, they're actually initiating him.
Can they chain lock him down before the battle trance? Nice use of the snowball. The Ice Blast still got the connection though, so let's see if you get the ultimate off and have a little bit of impact in the team fight. There we go with the Mortar because it's in the back line as well. They'll lose CTM. They'll chain their target to play hard. Now those kisses still bring him down very low. Play hard will fall. A 2-for-1 to start, but Zenki can chase down Januel. Now they can turn their attention to Yopaj next. Neon losing 4. They tried to go for a quick maneuver to catch up Marb's Troll Warlord, but just getting a little bit too ahead of themselves.
I think that's a lot too ahead of themselves. You had both your Dragon Knight and your Sand King that were about 200 gold away from finishing up their Hooded Defiance. They were still able to get it because the Troll Warlord ends up dying, and I believe there was an objective taken as well. But 200 gold for, you know, doubling the amount of magic resistance that you have, giving yourself a magic damage block when, I mean, look at what the heroes are that you're facing up against. A Troll with Maelstrom, Avatos combination, Mortimer's Kisses. Like, it's basically all magic right now. So I think Neon just getting a little bit too keen for that point of the game.
You do still see though, Neon have this net worth lead. The Midas on the Wraith King. Even though Natsumi's got 3 deaths, he's been getting a lot of space across the map. They've been able to find CTM again. They will burst through him. And not something you really expect on a Dragon Knight. Like, he had a pretty solid lane. Was getting a lot out of it considering the Miranda was making a lot of these rotations, but I guess, like, I'm trying to see, you're not going to have a Dragon Knight, unfortunately, but he's taking up a lot of these maneuvers to keep the Wraith King farming freely. I'm going to look to get involved here on Natsumi, but Echo Stomp disrupts him a little bit. How close to Radiance is he? He's about 3,500 gold. Blink forward, Yopaj cookie. Stuns up, and now Yopaj committed, and he gets ripped apart. The damage that Enryu has is through the roof on this task.
Yeah, I'm telling you, his name is Saitama. He's the One Punch Man. That's all he needs. He's a very beefy boy. He's almost got his soul booster as well. Sorry, vitality. No, spirit vessel. That's the one. He should have it when he's able to clear out this creep wave. And he's getting backed up really well by the rest of his team. Only 350 gold away from the solar crest as well. So anyone that they pick off, it's very easy to be able to chain that into another kill. Such low cooldowns means they can be active at all stages of the game. I was kind of thinking maybe South Built might have wanted to be a little bit more conservative because previously Marb had engagement.
Bob. He's going to get bursted down. If they drop the combo completely on one target, they're going to evaporate without any defensive supports. But Dire, recognizing that Radiant have used a lot of these key abilities to find the kills to start. They're going to look to punish, but they haven't gotten anyone just yet. And now with Natsumi wrapping on over, Yopaj, Blink, Burrow back up and available. Finds a jump on forward to set up for the Piranha Arrow along with the Wraith Fire Blast. They'll lose a second here from South Built. They're going to try and chase down Enryu as well. Can he get the shards onto the low ground? He's not even going to try to attempt it, but he's around a choke point higher ground. Maybe he can do it himself, but Yopaj, once again, it's just the fight's delaying long enough for the Blink and Burrow to come back up, and the catches are there for Neon. They'll hit back and find 3.
Yeah, they're going for these super deep dives because they're just trying to enable space for Marb to finish up that BKB. He's gone at second item, so really want to make sure that he's able to pick up a lot of this farm super early on, and they can snowball their relatively decent start to the game. I mean, CTM does not have much. He's basically just gone into these super defensive items. He's going into the Sand next, makes total sense as a DK, but it's still looking a little bit worrisome. The early BKB is going to counter out that Heaven's Halberd if he does end up going down that route on CTM as well. So that's going to be really nice for South Built's chances, as they've got the ward, they know play hard's here, and that's all they're going to need. Just a simple 2-man combo that's going to be back up again in the next 10 seconds.
So much damage. He's even got a raindrop as well. A little bit of stats, it just does not matter. You gain someone like a Tiny. It can be so annoying to play as a squishy support. Natsumi? He doesn't have Radiant.
HP chunk.
Is this a fight they want to take?
He's got it coming out to him now.
Autumn kisses. Snapfire's really fine in the backline. Got to deal with the first life. It's going to cost Tusk, however. Bob looking for an angle to get back into the fight. But the Blink's on cooldown, and Yopaj, well, his Blink's up and ready to go. Blinks, River, finds Zenki.
Down the backline.
There's the arrow. Bit too late here from playing hard. The distance away. They're ready to counter initiate with the higher ground offense here from Dire. Mob's going to move on forward. The stun from CTM will control him. Mob still hasn't finished the BKB. Now he's falling incredibly low. They're doing a great job to kite him through that battle trance, so none of the sustain will come out. And it's another solid team fight for Neon.
Yeah, too keen. Save your mate syndrome coming through again. Maybe just... We see Tusk so many times as a position 4, maybe a 5, that, you know, you think, oh, we've only lost our Tusk, it's not going to be that big for our team fight potential, but this is a core Tusk. You've had a lot of your net worth taken out by that little bit too deep of a dive there. You know, you're able to get the single life away from the Wraith King, but he's level 2 now. It's not the worst. It's going to be back up again in about a minute's time. It was lucky for Neon that they had the timing of that Radiance coming through as well, so you had the mischance coming through from the blind, particularly for that Troll Warlord. But yeah, taking that fight without the BKB, it's so different if you have that. You know, you probably can burst through that secondary life, or at least, you know, get the DK who's been having a bit of a worse time.
Dire are scanning.
See, these past 2 to 3 solid fights for OB.Neon have accumulated about a 4,000 net worth lead. Experience as well in their favor. Everything's looking really, really good for them at the moment. We're seeing how they're trying to itemize as well to deal with this Barb Troll Warlord as the game goes on. Oh, Blink on. Finds play hard, but he doesn't have any extra follow-up with the damage at the moment. Yopaj. Zone rebuttal. Force Staff gets back to the safety of the higher ground. That's
nice retreat. He's even got the Imp Claw as well on this Tusk, so he is dealing a lot of damage if he's ever able to get in onto someone. Doesn't have the Solar Crest himself, of course. Still kind of reliant on the Snapfire to get that true burst potential through. But, you know, you've got the Solar Crest.
Oh, nice snowball. Borrow strike off them off, and now with a chain. They'll drop the Earth Split on Mortimer Kisses. Natsumi instantly going to try and run to deal with the Snap Fire. They'll bring down Sama Yell, but it does cost Yopaj his life here, and Ryu as well. Echo Stomp forced off, nicely done, back to safety. So all after that, they've got the Ice Blast here, if Januel wants to chuck it out.
They finally do have a TP now available on Marb. It was off cooldown for about 10 seconds. I don't know if they want to do this. This is a pretty deep engagement considering your Pos 3 Tusk just sitting on about a third HP. It's a very early use of the BKB there, and he's just going to be able to walk away.
Battle Trance popped as well, Radiant. Can they actually come back into the middle of the fight here? Natsumi, Radiant, so they're going to start taking them down with the toss up in the air from Bob. Avalanche drop. Natsumi's falling really low, and he's actually going to lose his life here. As they turn it around on South Built, Marb will still end up falling. They're going to try and deal with Bob as well. You see, the Sand King lockdown is something they're really starting to lack without him in these fights. CTM dragged up to the northern side of the tree line too. A buyback on the Elder Titan. Bob earns stopping the Blink Dagger. CTM just hoping and praying that they aren't able to find him. Maybe he actually doesn't care. He wants to turn it back around here. Echo some space, but Yopaj is back alive. Will claim the kill, closing the distance there easily with the Sand King.
Yeah, again, just Tusk did not have enough HP to be able to go back into that fight, and again, just a little bit too keen on using the BKB, on using the Battle Trance super early on when, I mean, that was just the Wraith King's first life. I don't know if that was just the rest of his team not communicating that they hadn't been able to kill Natsumi just yet, but you know, you make all this space for a Troll Warlord, you got to make sure that your item and spell usage is on point.
Radiant are scanning.
And that's a Howard completed on CTM. So we're going to see the Troll Warlord have to be very wary of when he uses the BKB. They're actually even looking to smoke up here on Radiant. Do they want a more impactful kill? You'll see the position 3 Tusk on the lane, and they're going to look for that. Yopaj? Like left clicked on the snowball, it's not going to matter. It's just a very short stun, and there was nowhere Enryu could run away to.
Pretty to tower. I mean, it leaves them some definite Roche potential once this one goes down. Outpost claimable immediately. They're not going to, though. Maybe not.
Oh, Bob. He actually gets caught out here as well. The vision from Radiant, letting them 2 big kills. Bob's down 50 seconds. They'll push through mid and more than likely take a tier 2 tower.
Tier 2 tower or Roche. Both of them are totally fine. You know, you've got control over this top side of the map. Zhao, he's finally able to take back the, take the outpost away from South Built, and well, they're still pretty healthy and happy to go. You've got that Ice Blast available, all cooldowns available on the Mirana as well as the Wraith King. A little bit too deep.
Coffee gets the proc. They're going to have Wraithfire Blast pretty soon as well. Marb needs to pop something. BKB last second. But now we won't have BKB for the Battle Trance, and you cannot fight now if you die. Bob's going to be up in 3 seconds, but I really don't think it matters.
And more, yeah, I mean, the Battle Trance, it's nice to be able to have together, but A, you're being kited around already, and B, we've just seen that Heaven's Help has been picked up by CTM, so this Troll Warlord's not going to have any impact in this fight.
Yeah, you see Bob just has to try and blink to get a distance away from the onslaught that Neon are pushing out right now. Bob, okay, he's got a force. But it just, like Southport were playing very solid early on, but it feels like now once Neon group up with the cohesion that they have on this roster, their communication just seems one level above what Southport's are at the moment.
Yeah, but it's not even like theirs is amazing. It just feels like Southport's is lacking, for lack of a better word. You know, choosing when to go in, feeling like it doesn't feel like there's an understanding about how everyone else is doing on the team. It's all about the to steal a Fnatic voice line, I'm so strong, I'm so strong. You know, it's about the team. You know, Dota's a team game. This is a 5v5 game. You can't go in just because you think you're able to beat them. It's all about, if Tusk doesn't have HP, if you don't have your cooldowns, you can't just launch. And Yopaj is even going to hit level 18 from that creep wave. Just heroes dying. They're going to get Zenki here. Not the worst death, but still, Elder Titan is one of those heroes that can massively enable a team fight. They're not going to have it anymore. Bob doing his best to shove out the bottom lane just to try and keep the attention away, but mid lane, it's plenty pushed in itself, so Neon, they're just going to converge around there, just continue the push forward.
See,
he's going to do his best, try and take the attention away.
It's going to be one heck of a higher ground defense from South Built if they're looking to try and get in a position to potentially tie this series up. Try and toss back CTM, but distance is provided thanks to the Force Staff. One of the kills in the backline. A lot of damage from the globs here, Natsumi. He will lose that first life, so Reincarnation now put on cooldown. The Earth Splitter as well. CTM, nice double cookie stomp, but Marv with the BKB already. He's got enough mana for the battle trance here, locking Natsumi. Natsumi doesn't really care at the moment with counter initiation for the epicenter. Yopaj on the backline finds a bow strike on 2. Now with the follow-up as well for the arrow, and Bob's just completely away from the team. They get the cold feet proc. South Built are crumbling here through the later stages of this game.
Yeah, the damage just ain't there. You know, you've already got, and the Jinkies called, you've already got the Heaven's Halberd, you've got the the mischance coming through from the Radiance, and I just don't think you can take that fight again. It was another instance where the Tusk goes down before the team fight even began. You need to be able to chain up one of these backline supports before, you know, you can go in onto, let's say, the Wraith King or the Dragon Knight. And, yeah, wasn't South Built's game again. The cohesion, very much lacking. And that's, what, 0-6, is it, so far for them?
Yeah. Yeah, 0-6. It's definitely not the start that South Built were looking for, and it's a bit unfortunate as well, because they're now going to have to play back-to-back series, and they're going up against Team SMG, they're definitely looking for a little bit of redemption after their day one. I mean, tying versus Lil Gun and getting 2-0'd by Boom, so they're going to come in hungry in that series, and well, South Built, again, we're still not 100% certain on what's going on with a bar, you know, playing with Marb at the moment, but unfortunately for them, they're just unable to kind of deal with Neon's mid-game to late-game strong suit that they have.
Doesn't seem like the South Built that we were covering in the DPC lower division at all. I mean, even, hell, like, most of the team is pretty similar to the Vice Esports team that made it all the way through the upper division for Season 1, right? So yeah, it's just not working out too well for them, and the results are showing. But it's going to be a short break. We'll take some time, have a bit of a drink, have a nibble. It's going to be about 15-20 minutes until we get to see the SMG boys come through. We've got, of course, Mid1, Nia, KP, Rogi, and Afu showing their third series, I believe, of the Pro Series number 6. So we're right back with that, and I'm keen to see how they do.
Yeah, I'm very excited as well. If South Built can bounce back, even SMG as well, like I said, their first day, looking to bounce back from that. So we are halfway done here for day 3 of the Lootbet Pro Series 6, and we'll send it to a break with our third series coming up in a little bit.